Alright, you guys remember that one issue I had with Alien Isolation where it only recorded one frame for the entire recording session? Well, that happened again, and I'm not particularly keen on using the chapter select to do this stuff over again, especially because at the time of this recording I still haven't quite finished the foundation and I don't know how that'll affect what I'm doing there. So, I'm just gonna have to very carefully listen to this recording and cut out anything that doesn't have to do with the story or anything interesting that I might be saying, and we're just gonna have to live with this annoyance. This would be the benefit of having a dual monitor set up, because I only have one monitor. And if I had a second monitor, I could see if OBS was fucking up before I'd recorded like a million hours of footage. Anyway, enjoy the podcast episode again. Welcome back, guys. We're off to do things with things. As you can see, I gave Jessie back her regular outfit because honestly it's a pretty ugly outfit she had there. Typewritten page. The page was discovered in an instance of the Ocean View Motel and Casino that was linked to the investigation sector. The page has been pushed into the motel's corridor from under the door with the symbol of a spiral. Redacted. For 10 years I've tried to write my escape, only sinking deeper. I used to know where fiction ends and reality begins. Here they are all the same. It's a hideous trap, my every thought made real. Fear, desire, how can I ever know for sure? I've escaped and not just lost... How can I ever know for sure that I've escaped and not just lost to my own fantasy of it? That thought alone can drive you mad. The identifiable words in the scratched out portion. Falls. Right, falls? Haunting. Wake, Alan Wake. Light switch, ocean, too late, and the final sentence, you've been warned. Stop being an asshole, let me shoot you.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
I mean, who cares? I can fly. Guess who just had to inspect an inbound delivery of like 100 teensy tiny little boxes? Me, that's who. And you know what was inside each one? A single human tooth. Fucking gross. Oh, you can destroy that door. That wall. Question. How many more doors have there been that Doors, again. How many more walls have there been that I could just destroy? Wait a minute, does it mean, the other place where I saw that image, there was another wall upstairs that had that same, picture hanging off of it. Does that mean that there's gonna be something there too? If I just, you know, willy-nilly throw things at the wall? The answer is yes. I also really love the fact that it's called Ordinary, and I know that there are places that are named like that for real. Like, there's a place called Dull, I think, somewhere in America. Maybe? Or maybe it was Boring. There was like a tri-city thing where they all had like similar shitty names. I'm waiting to be attacked by things. The fact that I haven't been is kinda nice. Like, I really would honestly like to have a little bit less combat. Then I guess it'll just mean that if I play the game again, I'll just play it with like those like the cheat stuff that's for accessibility. Which honestly, like, I really like that they have those options for people who wouldn't be able to play the game otherwise. Like, maybe they have shaky hands, or like just like in general they have a hard time with things that would require them to have like a steady hand or to be able to see very well. And so like I think you can make it so that you're immortal and you can one-shot the enemies. which just, like, that'd be really good for them. It'd be nice to see more of those things in games. Like, not every game in the world obviously is gonna need it to have that, because in some games, part of the whole thing is the challenge, like with Dark Souls games. But for a game like this, where it's not really a challenge thing, it's more like you're experiencing the story and stuff. It's really nice to have, and I'm glad that they have it. The airplane in question has been brought in from a private airfield located in the town of Redacted, Cincinnati. It is suspected to be connected to the Redacted AWE, see Case 5 Redacted for details, and is being evaluated for altered status. The plane is currently being stored in the transit corridor in the containment sector, brought there through the New York subway tunnel. Special Access Redacted. For more information on Tunnel Redacted and links to urban legends centered on ghost stations, abandoned tracks, and Redacted, see file 412-4521. The plane's black box is currently being evaluated for redacted, and initial readings have been taken by a research team, though no altered status has yet been detected. The first slide was a room with dirty wallpaper and dolls on a shelf. There were a lot of dolls. DF interview 2002. I guess that means Dylan Faden. And then JF would be Jesse Faden. The house was empty. No one lived there. We played in there a lot. It was our secret playhouse. I went to school with Neil. Some kids called him Nosebleed Neil. Note, likely Neil Harsenberg, missing. It was mean. He had asthma. Tom, note, likely Tom Barlow, also missing. And his gang, Freddie, note, likely Frederick Banwell, missing. Hugo, note, no one by this name was found in public records, bullied him. We brought Neil to the dump to play. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designation house. There is definitely something going on. Oh, another one of the America Overnight episodes.
Shining a light in the shadows. Thanks for staying with us. Here's our first caller.
Hi. What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know what would happen.
If who found out, brother?
The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary.
This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller.
No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town. And it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said. But that's bullshit.
Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but we're still a family show.
I'm sorry. It's just, my brother was there. They said the town was destroyed, but it wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there.
So the population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation," written anywhere?
I'm not sure.
The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Fort Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction. As predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Rogan.
Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying!
Now I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. Good timing, too. It's time for a short break. Hang in there. America Overnight will be right back.
Creepy. Even creepier when you realize that this is a way to, like, sort of, like, make people, like, think all of this is, like, just, you know, conspiracy nonsense, and also, like, maybe get an idea of new AWEs and altered items. An AWE occurred in the town of Ordinary, caused by an object of power, slide projector, discovered by local children at the dump outside of town. When a specific set of slides are used in the projected images open doorways to other dimensions. Multiple slides were used by the children, resulting in the disappearance of the town's adult population. On August 30th, 2002, siblings Dylan Faden, 10 years old, and Jesse Faden, 11 years old, were playing at the local dump when they found a discarded slide projector. A team led by Director Trench and Dr. Darling arrived at the site on September 14th. The AW had ended, but the team found the Faden children, who led them to the slide projector and the slides, which had been burned with the exception of one. Jesse escaped when agents attempted to detain the pair. In total, 17 surviving individuals were found in the town. All of them were brought in for questioning and tests. See interviews redacted and prime candidate program files redacted. Is this a new video? It is.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power, with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions. Or die trying.
Man, sometimes these projections just get really fucking weird. Ordinary Altered World Event, Stage 4A, Town Proper Witness Testimonies. Jesse and me followed the dung monkeys to the cave. There was a lot of them. More of the kids from town had joined up. It was really scary. Jesse grabbed the projector and we ran as fast as we could. They chased us. I fell and hurt my knee. Jesse tried to help me, but the dung monkeys were coming. They were just about to get us, but then Neil showed up. Neil looked like a dog, like a melted dog, but I knew it was him. Neil said a lot of times he didn't like being a boy because Tom just beat him up. I think he liked being a dog. The projector wouldn't turn off, so we changed the slide to the hand. I heard her immediately. She promised to help. Jessie said we should call her Polaris. It's because she was doing stars at school. Extrapolated information. Additional slide. Designation hand is verified and in bureau possession. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity. Designation dog Neil. Oh dear. Alright, what do you have to say?
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carlavon. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then. In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want to come, did he?
Aww.
He never visits, not since Roberts. Tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
Mm-hmm. What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
18.
What day is it today?
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil. And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
Honestly... Oh, that's creepy. While I can't exactly, like, condone his behavior necessarily, I absolutely understand why Dylan was acting that way. He had a father figure, I'm guessing, in Dr. Darling. And, you know, something happened, he lost control of his power, or he more likely had a mood swing, because he seems very angry, which, like, not surprising, and killed someone, and, you know, Darling feels really bad about this, and even he, you know, was defending Dylan in that projection we saw last time, I believe. So he killed the guy, and now, like, someone who probably treated him very well, like, Darling seemed to have affection for him, and now someone who won't even engage with him outside of, like, the experimentation, just so cold and detached. Like, I would have reacted really angrily too. Like, that's no way to treat an actual living person. Ordinary Stage 2, the Sled Hill Cave. After what happened at school to Mrs. Chester, we started spying on Tom and saw where they took the projector. Tom and his troglodytes were using the Sled Hill Cave as their headquarters. That's where the projector was. They'd been using the temple slide. We called it that, but really it was a broken concrete thing, like a warehouse or a bomb shelter or something. Very dark. The Not Mother lived there with her babies, children, I don't know. She was feeding Tom and the others her milk. They were changing into little monsters. We called them dung monkeys. Unconfirmed of additional slide designation temple. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity designation Not Mother. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Dylan. Like, he's... Like, would any of us have come out any better if we were put in his position? I don't think so. Ordinary AWE Stage 1B, the dump. The second slide we called the Meadow Butt. It was really just an empty lot with a bunch of weeds. There was just shack and a phone line. It smelled like flowers there. It was powerful, intoxicating. We had crazy dreams there. It must have been because of the smell. I didn't like it. Didn't like losing control. In the dreams, everything was melting, and then when we come out, everything had melted around the projector. Neil was really into it. We found he'd been coming there more and more on his own. Then Tom beat the secret out of Neil and found the projector. He and his goons took it. We thought Neil had got lost inside the meadow when Tom changed the slide, but that's not what happened. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designation meadow. But I guess all of them except Hand, I think it was, got destroyed.
Ordinary.
That's really creepy, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
All here. Our home, our school, the woods, the dump.
Man, they had a really small town.
We found the slide projector in the dump outside town. Did they recreate that too? Is that where they keep it?
This is the dump, I guess? Ordinary EWE Stage 3, the public school. Tom and the others had gotten worse, scarier. The math teacher, Mrs. Chester, tried to make them listen, and they pushed over a piano on her, broke her legs. Then Tom bashed her head in. Bye-bye, Mrs. Chester. I always liked her. I liked math. Oh. That was a tipping point. It was Lord of the Flies level bad. The grown-ups realized something was wrong. The police came and literally dragged Tom and Hugo and the others away. Tom was screaming that the Not Mother would make them all go away. They acted a curfew for every kid in Ordinary. Mom and Dad were pissed, asking us about the dump, about everything. I remember wanting them gone like Tom had said. When we woke up the next morning, pretty much all the adults had just vanished. Was I responsible? Did I don't know. Imagine just, like, you know, the kinds of thoughts that everybody has from time to time.
They say when you visit your childhood home, everything feels small. Like a miniature, not real. They got that right.
But yeah, like, just the kinds of things that everybody thinks, and then that becomes real, even though you didn't necessarily mean it.
You mentioned a poem last time we talked. By Thomas Zane?
Yes. Beyond the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle illuminated.
I looked the poem up. Only I couldn't find any poet by that name. I did find a European filmmaker who moved here in the 60s, named Thomas Zane.
What?
I don't know matter. It suits you very well. The poem, how you see things. Maybe you wrote it yourself.
I didn't.
No matter. I've said a few times that I feel like there's a piece of you missing. Can we talk about that?
Okay. Yeah, it's this feeling of emptiness, a yearning for something that I think I lost.
It's natural for you to feel that. Your brother and your parents are dead.
No! No. Dylan's not dead. And that's not even it.
You're referring to the imaginary friend from your childhood?
Polaris. She's come back. For a long time. Following me. In a dream I watched. She showed me things. It felt more real. As real as what happened in Ordinary.
The industrial accident in your hometown? That you believe Polaris caused?
No, it wasn't an accident. There was no industrial accident, and Polaris didn't cause it. She saved me and Dylan.
Jesse...
No! It was a cover-up. The government knows about it. There were agents there. Agents from... I don't know exactly, but they took Dylan. I'll find them. I won't stop looking. Polaris wants me to go to New York. There's a building there. I have to leave soon. I have to be there at a very specific time. Something hugely important is going to happen.
Jesse, you know we can't let you go until you're well. And that begins by understanding what's real and what's imagined.
Uh-huh. I guess she was committed then, with the, like, we can't let you go thing. But... I don't know, she's doing well enough that I don't think they would have a case to keep her committed. Details are largely based on interviews conducted with Dylan Faden, see interviews redacted and redacted for relevant information, and the obtained therapy sessions of Jesse Faden, as well as circumstantial evidence found at the Ordinary site. Note that accounts provided by all three sources contain conflicting data. Example, Dylan Faden complains there were 8 slides of the projector. Jesse Faden mentioned 9 slides. The Bureau found 1 intact slide and the burnt remains of 6 others. Unfortunately, these slides are too badly damaged to be used in the projector. Jesse Faden is believed to be the individual responsible for burning the slides. Notes. Dr. Darling has ordered the entirety of the Ordinary Town dump be brought to the Bureau for examination and analysis with the hopes of finding additional slides or other altered materials. Due to the limited space in the investigation sector, this AWE will be investigated in the Containment Center.
Moved the whole landfill here in the middle of New York, and nobody saw a thing. Pretty unbelievable.
By order of Dr. Darling, all work in the Ordinary dump is to stop effective immediately. Resources will be allocated to the redacted department. Details will be forthcoming. This area will be sealed at the end of the month. Please remove all personal effects before that time. Any photographic slides, the type used in slide projectors found in the area, should be delivered to Dr. Darling immediately.
We should check that lab.
What if I don't want to? Globe supplement, the Wolf Globe. The item was found at the penthouse suite at Redacted Toronto belonging to David Wolf, who was being investigated for illegally dealing in altered materials. Bureau agents raided his penthouse and found numerous paranatural belongings, including redacted, and this item. Mr. Wolf was arrested. Article from the Toronto Daily. So why would a 36-year-old Bay Street investment trader, filthy rich, married to a model, disappear overnight? That's the question that's kept Toronto high society up at night this past week. Police say it's being looked into. Some nutjob radio show in the States claims he disappeared to join the Illuminati, but it's reported his opinion that Wolf, bored of his job, sick of his family, left it all behind to retire in some remote beach paradise. Now he's sipping Mai Tais while the world thinks he's dead. I bet that newspaper was, just a way for these guys to stop people from looking into it. Imagine like an actual newspaper being like, nah, nothing fishy here, the guy's probably just off living a life of luxury, like, I would find that real suspicious.
Effective immediately. I'm setting up a new department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there. That's where my focus will be now. The ordinary site
As that'll
remains
be
as is.
why the ashtray
We'll be
maze
back
is.
to... I don't know when.
Darling took the projector to the research sector. He dedicated a whole area to it, so he knew it was important. Dimensional research. That's where we go next.
Other things that'll really fucking suck if it happens. If there's a period where it takes away your abilities, like some games like to do. Oh, that would suck so hard. I listened to that, didn't I? That was the thing being like, oh, you need to be able to tell what's real and imagined, Jesse. And Jesse was like, fuck you, I know it was real.
Do you remember Mr. Tomasi, the head of communications? The hiss he was changed into showed up in containment, near the turntable.
I'll take care of it.
I was just
He's
there.
not getting away this time.
I've heard reports about his particular use of language and intonation when repeating the hiss babbling. The biological and behavioral distinctions between different hiss-corrupted individuals is truly fascinating. I wonder if I could categorize the data.
And she's already off on her own thing.
Oh, sorry. Let's see if there's anything else to say. Hey, dude.
Maybe I'm just here to punish myself.
Maybe.
Any new dreams you'd like to share, Dylan?
I'm glad you asked, sister. This dream, like all dreams now, felt very real. Like reality. And reality now feels like a dream. Maybe it's all a dream. Maybe it's all real.
Dream where my brother endlessly tells me about his dreams.
I was in a dark place, and there was a dark man there. His name was Mr. Door.
That's a
And
name.
he told me that there are many
Mr.
worlds,
Door, huh?
side by side, on top of each other, some inside of others. In one world, there was a writer who wrote a story about a cop. In another world, the cop was real. Door said he himself was in all of them at the same time, endlessly shifting between them. I asked him how I could reach these worlds. I wanted to bring the hiss there. But he didn't want to help me. He didn't like the idea.
Yeah, I don't like
What
the
did he
idea
know?
either.
I'm not wild about the idea myself.
Yeah, see, Jesse has some sense.
Here we go again. Once more with feeling.
Let me guess. You want to tell me about your dream?
She sounds pissed
Yes.
now.
Yes. In fact, I'm having a dream right now.
Oh. That's new.
In this dream, I'm standing in the corner watching Jesse and Dylan talk about this very dream.
Creepy.
This very dream! He said just now! And repeated it again now! I'm standing there and watching, and that's all I can do. It's as if I'm trapped there. And that's all I have to say about that dream.
Sounds like he's dissociating.
Okay, Dylan. That's good.
Is he still in there? Or is this the hiss playing mind games? I don't know.
Doesn't look like you can talk to him anymore.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there,
Hey, it's Wake.
reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh?
Alan Wake.
We should check this out.
I wonder if this is like DLC or something. This doesn't feel like something they'd put in the main game. Because you know, the Steam version came out later. This is the Ultimate Edition, which includes all stuff, but I don't know.
Every altered item on your list is now back in the Panopticon, safe and sound.
How does it get to
That's
the
a load off my
Panopticon?
mind. Missing altered items don't exactly reflect well on me, you know. Did they give you any trouble?
The flamingo pulled me into the astral plane just like the fridge did. That same creature was there.
I was looking over the old activity reports, and multiple items have been displaying much more destructive behavior in the past few weeks. There's some connection there, I bet, but it's a bit above my pay grade.
Something to keep an eye on.
And if I have any more runaways, I'll know just
Maybe
who to
there aren't
call.
any more.
I guess this is my life now.
Yep, it is your life now.
Do you know anything about an object of power
I
called
don't
the
remember
slide
this.
projector?
Doesn't ring a bell, but Trench's chosen few never tell me anything. Not that I'm complaining. The inner circle works non-stop. I'm pretty sure Darling sleeps under his desk. No, thank you. I have a cat to feed.
I hope Blankston's got a pet sitter.
Yeah, these are new ones, because it's grayed out where the rest aren't.
Do you often see people with abilities like mine?
Probably
We
not.
have some paranaturally inclined agents at the Bureau. Nothing as impressive as you, though. Of course, we did have your brother here. He got a special cell up top. Darling put his own people in charge. Like I couldn't be trusted. I couldn't even
wouldn't
get into
trust
the
you.
room. In my own panopticon. I tell you, the way that Darling runs things, there ought to be an investigation. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Are me and Jesse the same person?
Have you ever seen an AWE?
Not out in the field. The AWEs are just altered items doing their thing. The Bureau goes in, locks everything down, and then they bring me back some clock or a gumball machine that made the town blind or something.
Just like an ordinary. With the slide projector.
Creepy.
What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall's nice enough. A little too special ops for me. Solves everything with a bullet. Respect and ritual will placate altered items better than any gun.
How's that?
Some people believe altered items are conduits to extra-dimensional forces which require ritualistic worship to be appeased. It's just a theory I heard. I don't know much about it.
I feel like he's a few minutes away from a rant about elder gods and blood rites.
What do you have to say for
Debrief
yourself?
for Mirror Excursion 7C. Subject is Agent Hardy. Hardy spent approximately 3 hours in the mirror.
That's a lot of time.
The longest time on record. Can you describe your experience inside, Agent Hardy?
Oh, it's speaking backwards. Because it's a mirror.
Agent Hardy is physically healthy. All tests have come back clean. Yet the speech issue has persisted for hours. Calm down, Agent. It could be psychosomatic, but the fact that this only occurred after returning from the mirror makes a paranatural explanation more likely. I recommend a battery of tests and a Class Orange quarantine.
Okay, so the altered item examination proposal, A160, aka the mirror. This proposal is to finally determine the precise nature of the reflected space within the altered item. Is it transplanar, psychologically generated, or rooted within our own dimension? How does the altered item know the space in its vicinity well enough to reflect it? Why does it reflect some materials but not others? Is the space a parallel reality? If so, then we need to consider that while we possess this physical end of the mirror, someone else owns the other. What purposes might they use it for? Can they walk through it into our own world? What are their motives? Lastly, to what purpose does the altered item produce the reflections of the individuals that enter it? Can these reflected entities lead the altered item? As with all altered items, we need to attempt to distinguish if this behavior is redacted. Mirror containment. A160, the mirror, does not reflect its surroundings with perfect accuracy. The environment seen in its glass contains slight distinctions. It is unknown why the mirror does this. If there is any redacted, then it's something we can't perceive. The popular theory is that the mirror has a goal in mind, that it reflects the world it wishes to reveal, slightly replacing our reality with its own. While certainly far-fetched, the theory is worth noting here as a warning not to underestimate the mirror. The specially designed black rock panels have been installed to prevent access from our side or the mirrors. For added security, a particular arrangement of the panels is required to open the door. Refer to file 915-7412 for full report. This one is...
Dylan's a lost cause.
I don't remember this one.
I know, I struggled to see this. But we've contained him now. I wish I had sided with Marshall. Back when it's just one person. So many dead.
Oh dear.
I thought his youth was an asset. Just too much too soon. Effective immediately. I'm setting up a new department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there.
Ah, it's the latter half of
That's where my
this.
focus will be now. The ordinary site remains as is. We'll be back to...
I think, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know when.
So when it started playing, it hadn't actually shown me the full thing. Oh, is this new?
I'm averse to using objects
I don't
of
remember
power.
this one.
I don't want to lean on things I ultimately
I feel like I've
can't
heard this
trust.
one.
But the ashtray and the cigarette, smoking there
Oh yeah,
forever.
no, I have heard this one. Okay. Descent. This is new. You have heard wrong/fake news. The board is A-OK/intact. The rebel faction/dissent is former/fired. The crisis/purge is over. This is not a matter/worry for you. You can hang up now, please. I wonder if that had to do with the former and I finally, like, you know, killed it. Now, did I see the entirety of this?
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else, too.
At least we actually get to see this guy.
Hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
At least you can actually see him. Yeah, this feels like a DLC thing. I mean, I could be wrong.
Wait, that didn't sound right. Yeah, that's not good.
Mirror debrief.
What? I can't understand you. You need to listen. I saw something in there. There is something inside. You need to lock down the mirror.
Ah.
Why are you talking like that? What's wrong with you, all of you? There's something in that fucking mirror.
Hopefully this isn't permanent. Ah.
Did you see that? Someone's in there.
It's me. There I am again. I like that other outfit. Essage.
That's not good.
Oh. If she said that out loud. She's talking normally. Here we go. I kind of hope we can unlock that outfit. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, and now I'm on this side. Nope. She got out. And now I'm probably gonna have to kill her.
Well, it's cleansed now.
Oh, you can go back in it.
It's dealt with.
Fuck! I was tricked!
Since little Topher is taking a trip with his father into the world outside our wonderful bureau, I think it's a good time to talk about secrets. Who can tell me what a secret is?
It's something you hide from everyone so they don't get scared.
Partially correct, Topher. A secret is something you don't tell anyone outside the Bureau, because people outside the Bureau
Aren't ready for the truth of reality.
Very good. When you tell someone a secret, you're hurting their brains very badly. Now, let's review what exactly is or isn't a secret. First, we have a rainbow. Secret or not secret?
Not secret.
Correct. And the true version of rainbows?
Secret.
Correct. Cats?
Not secret.
Correct.
It's all
and the
fucked
Alpine
up.
Chimera?
Not secret.
Topher. Too many slip-ups and your father will have to go on vacation without you. You don't want to end up like Meg, do you?
What? What happened to Meg?
This is so fucking creepy. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm not allowed to go outside anymore.
Correct.
Fuck, these get creepier every fucking time. Mirror procedures. The item should be kept in a sealed chamber with minimal external visibility. A hanging mirror, oval in shape. The frame is made of ornately wrought brass. The item does not reflect its surroundings accurately. The item's effect is complex. Most notable is the fact that the glass transports individuals to a paranatural space when touched. In this space is an imperfect reflection of our reality. Some objects inside the reflection are simple mirror images, some are redacted, while some do not appear at all. The reflection only contains areas within a redacted distance from the item itself. Locating the item has proven that the reflection changes to depending on its situation. That is a weird. That is a sentence that doesn't make sense. Relocating the item has proven that the reflection changes depending on its surroundings. Or what relocating the item has proven that what the reflection is changes depending on its surroundings. Like that would. Agents have been sent in to explore the reflection. Redacted has been observed in the test subject sent inside, believed to be psychosomatic. Prolonged exposure to the reflection is not advisable. Apparently, yeah, a bunch of these are broken now, and it means I can get an outfit. Yeah, there we go. Yay! Asynchronous suit.